The X-Men might have stumbled onto a good idea when they decided to reboot the franchise in the past, showing the rise of Professor X and Magneto, but in the process, the films have jumped around over 3 decades, and now Chuck and Eric are starting to look like they've spent a lot of money on Botox. What's up guys, Chris Killian here, and let's set the record straight. Exactly how old are the original X-Men supposed to be? The main problem with the current X-Men series is how the franchise insists on setting the films in different decades, keeping the same actors while they age in real time. This makes it somewhat hard to believe that Professor X, Mystique, and Magneto look basically the same age, despite the films taking place over the span of 30 years. Based on simple math, the X-Men characters should be a lot older than they appear on screen, and a lot older than the actors who portray them. Considering Dark Phoenix takes place in 1993, only 8 years before the original X-Men movie, it stands to reason it should be starring Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen again. Let's break it down. X-Men First Class establishes Professor X was born in 1932, and with Dark Phoenix taking place in 93, that would make Xavier 61 years old. James McAvoy is only 40 and doesn't even look that old. Next is Xavier's childhood friend Raven Darkholme. She was born a couple years later in 1934, so she would be around 59 years old by the time of Dark Phoenix. Lawrence isn't even half as old as that, as she's only 28 years old. Then again, her character has shape-shifting abilities that make her look like Rebecca Romijn, so it stands to reason that it could work here. But still, it's crazy to think Mystique is closer to 70 by the time the original X-Men films begin. Maybe she's never shown her true appearance and actually looks like Melisandre in Game of Thrones, just blue. Rounding out the main trio, Michael Fassbender's Magneto looks great for someone who was a teenager during the Holocaust. The character was born in 1930, which would make him 63 by the time of Dark Phoenix, meaning Fassbender is the most attractive 63-year-old who ever lived. What happened to this dude that makes him go from this to this in the span of 8 years? That guy's lived a hard 8 years. That's the movie I want to see. So does it matter to you that the X-Men are basically a bunch of 30-year-olds pretending to be 60? Let me know in the comments, hit me up on Twitter at Chris Killian, and thanks for watching.